This broadcast is brought to you by Colby Brooks with Century 21 Right Pace Real Estate and buyfrombrooks.com. Let Colby Brooks handle all of your real estate needs. On NEA Report, the latest numbers from the Arkansas governor's press conference, including a discrepancy that we even asked the governor about ourselves on the call. It's related to how many cases at the Cummins unit are being counted in the overall tally. Because according to the latest information, almost 600 people at Cummins have COVID-19, but they're not telling us exactly how many of those are in the tally for overall cases in Arkansas. So we don't know where we're at right now, and we're covering that next on NEA Report.
Reporting.
Thanks for joining us on NEA Report. Stan Morris reporting in Jonesboro here in the 2 o'clock hour with the latest numbers of COVID-19 positive cases in Arkansas. Cumulative numbers at this point, 1923 total tested for COVID-19 in Arkansas. There have been 749 recoveries, and tragically more deaths have been reported. We're now up to 42. However, in those numbers, it's not exactly clear how many of those cases are including the outbreak that's taken place at Cummins unit, which has been significant. We've learned in the past 24 hours, a little less than that, 250 new positive results have come in from commercial labs, making now, and it was an approximation by the Secretary of Health, Dr. Nate Smith, of about 600 cases at the Cummins barracks that they have been testing. It's unclear right now how many of those are in the 1923 tally. I asked the governor this afternoon during the press conference and the Secretary of Health. They said some of them were in it, but some weren't, meaning we can't just do basic math like we tried to do yesterday, which is when they told us none of the numbers were included together from Cummins with the overall. So today it's a different tone and a different tune. But we're trying to figure out exactly what this means. Does this mean Arkansas is at 2,500? It would seem like no, based on what they were telling us. It would seem like those, we can't just do the base math to combine those two numbers. There's some overlap there, and we don't know what it is. However, an outbreak at Cummins is enough to concern anybody. With about 1,000 tests having been performed there, is what the governor's press conference said, out of a population of about 1,200 in the barracks that they're testing. And out of that, half of them are now testing positive with COVID-19. Let's take a look at the latest county-by-county numbers as released by the Arkansas Department of Health. Now, most of these numbers were released this morning because it usually takes them a little while to update the county-by-county numbers on their website. But if you do want to get the latest numbers, and this is after the fact, a couple of hours after our live broadcast, go to neareport.com. We've got them all there. They're automatically updating, so you can find out what you need. In Craighead County, as of this morning, 43 positive cases were reported with 24 recoveries, 437 negative tests. In Greene County, 8 positive, 3 recovered, 386 negative tests. In Poinsett County, 9 positive, 4 recoveries, 41 negative. In Randolph County, 11 positive, 8 recoveries, 171 negative. In Clay County, only 1 positive still. In Lawrence County, 26 positive as the numbers continue to climb from the outbreak at the Walnut Ridge Nursing and Rehab Facility. 1 recovery, 1 death, 141 negative tests in the county. In Sharp County, 2 positives, 1 recovery, 25 negative tests. In Mississippi County, 8 positives, 6 recoveries, so only 2 people still positive there, and 52 negative tests. And in Crittenden County, where things have been pretty rough because of what's been going on next door in Memphis, Tennessee, we're seeing 141 positive cases today with 50 recoveries and with 5 deaths. I also want to take a look at the latest numbers. As you just give me a second, bear with me, because I want to see what the latest numbers in Shelby County as of this morning were. 1,778 confirmed cases in Shelby County, Tennessee, with 35 deaths. That's why, that bleed over from that is why there's been so many more tests in, and also for that matter, positives in Crittenden County. They are testing more there, but they're also finding more too. In Jackson County, 1. Fulton still at 0, but really no tests performed there. Independence County, 8. In White County, they're up to 29. Cleburne County grows to 71. but not a lot of new tests being performed in Cleveland County, something we've noticed over the past several days. Even though they had that initial big outbreak, they have stopped testing as much there, and so those numbers have slowed, perhaps consequentially over that, or maybe it's slowing there too. We can't really tell because testing is it's still happening in smaller numbers than it should. But in Izard County, up to 2 cases there. Now, across the United States, 766,212 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with 40,905 deaths, a large, large number to imagine there, and that is in a short period of time as well. 71,208 have recovered. Those are the latest numbers from Johns Hopkins University. Finally, COVID across the world, confirmed cases, latest number, 2.4 million. That number continues to rise, and primarily so in the United States, where we're seeing more confirmed cases than at least the next 4 countries combined. Or at least, it is the next 4 countries combined. Looking at the math here, I'll tell you what those are in a second. But deaths across the globe, 167,592, recovered 639,000. The U.S. has 766,000 cases. The number 2 country is Spain with 200,000. Italy with 181,000, France 154, and Germany 146. You combine all of those together, and they're going to, they're not going to reach the number that the U.S. has. They're going to get close to it, but the United States is moving away in the number of positive cases. We all are also moving away in the testing, too. There's more tests being performed in the United States as well. So it's tough to say one way or the other what the numbers exactly mean. But these are the numbers, and the facts and the opinions can come after that. That's where all of you in comments come in. Here's an interesting metric we wanted to bring along to you and share today on NEA Report. This shows each state, based on how many new infections they're seeing per infected patient. Little bit complicated, but I want to try to explain this. Basically, if you have one patient, this chart shows how many patients they will infect, or at least currently based on the numbers that are out there. So for example, in North Dakota, one person gets the coronavirus and they're going to give that on average to 1.7 people. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot because those numbers indicate the numbers are growing overall in their state. Where's Arkansas at? Well, it's a little bit of good news. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to show you this. Arkansas at 0.97, meaning every one patient that gets COVID-19 is going to transmit that to 0.97 people. Obviously, you can't have 0.97 of a person, but that means in averages, there are less new patients being reported out of current patients than in other states. And so that's good news. Now, it's not a lot below 1. It's just below 1, and 1 basically means it's staying the same. Below, i.e. in the green, means it's going down. In the red means not so much. So let's take a look at some of the states and what this means. For example, around Arkansas, you can see Missouri is doing a little bit better, 0.96. Tennessee, a little bit better, 0.93. But other states that are sort of lower on this list, not all of them are states that are in the South. Hey, you see my friends over in Alabama doing really well. But look at Connecticut, 0.42. It looks really good for them based on their numbers there. On the other end of the spectrum, you see states like North Dakota with 1.7 cases for every 1 infection. That means theirs are going up a lot. So another thing to take a look at in this particular graphic that we want to show you are states that have no shelter in place. How's Arkansas doing there? Actually, Arkansas is the only state with a lower number of new cases per single patients than the other 3 that are currently not under a shelter-in-place order. Of course, the Dakotas and Nebraska. The top state right now in America is not under a shelter-in-place order is North Dakota, and they probably need to look at one based on where they're showing up just on this graph alone. There are other sections that we can take a look at. For example, the 10 largest states. How are they faring? Well, you can see Michigan and Florida, not too bad. New York is at 1.0, so they're trying to level off, but you got other states in the larger sections that are still in the red. What about in the South? You can see also how the states in the South are performing, and again, near Arkansas, not too bad, right? With Tennessee, as I said, Missouri, which is not showing up there, but that's right above us. Arkansas right here. Other states that are not doing so well in the South might include Mississippi and Texas, where they're seeing 1.2 cases for every 1. Again, these numbers are so small and variable, a lot of folks will say, what's the difference? What's it matter? But we're talking about coming down to the smallest denominator, 1. And so when you multiply that, if there are currently 1,400 active patients in Arkansas, which is a number we've seen today, that means those 1,400 people over the lifetime of their infection would be, on average, expected to infect 0.97 people for every one of them. Pretty close to 1,400, right? Maybe what, 1,350 or something like that. Pretty close. But imagine it like this. If you take that 1,400 number and apply it, say, to South Carolina, each of those 1,400 would be expected to infect at least 1,400 plus another 700, which is 0.5. So at that point, you're looking at 2,100 becoming infected from 1,400, and that's how the numbers grow. So the good news out of this graphic, Arkansas is on a downward trend, and we love seeing that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today on NEA Report. We do appreciate you for watching. Your time means a lot to us. We know it's valuable, so for you to share it with us, it really does flatter us a bunch. If you think we did an okay job, a like or a share would mean a whole lot. A follow or a subscribe, depending on your social media platform of choice, is also appreciated. And if you really want to help things out, become a supporter for just 99 cents a month. It's really cheap, and we do cool stuff every week. We put a lot of work into that for supporters. And it's only for a handful of people, too. Several hundred people, and that's it. So, Stan Morris reporting in Jonesboro, and you're up to date.